hell? Okay. Okay, so let's look for more houses. Sounds good. Zook's over there. Let's check out mail. Whatever. Fucking hell. There we go. Oh, actually, I shut up, huh? This is my name. Oh, not totally my name. This does. What's this? Wait, the DoorDasher took you to the store? Huh. I didn't think they would do something like that. I guess if you give them $20, I mean, it's basically like a fucking lift. Are you taking a shit right there? Well, whatever, dog. Oh, you tipped him 40? Takes her to strange places. Dude, you should see this dog when I walk him sometimes. Like, I will walk him around, and he will, like, specifically want to sniff a bush. And eventually, he'll get the mind to shit in the bush. So he literally backs his ass all up in the bush and, like, morphs himself and becomes one with the bush. Like, I'm not kidding. That's how he acts. It's so weird. But it's really cute, though. Cause see, just like this little like dog, just like kind of poking out of a bush. Here, let me get this food real quick. Yeah, bud. Hold on, buddy. Oh. Alright, hold on. Not quite done. Gonna layer it up. There we go. One little lady. Alright, there you go. There you go. Alright. So you need some water. Oh, doggo. Shaboom. Did they show up my food? Took me to the store. I have a Christian old lady, but sweet. She was door dashing because her husband's sick. Oh. Well, hopefully, you know, she is able to help out her hubby and shit. So I gave such a good tip. Nice. Because I had the dasher that did show up several times before. Because I had the dasher that did show up. So, okay, so you've had that one before, so it was at least, something where it would be, like, easy to, like, kind of have some rapport already. Well, at least that's good. And besides, even though, she might be, old Christian lady, whatever. I mean, honestly, like, I mean, it's, like, honestly, like, there's some bad, like, old ladies, even if some of them are Christian and shit. I mean, most of them are, okay, I'm not even gonna bother with that anymore. But, like, most of them, aren't really, like, horrible. Like, most of them are actually really sweet. Really nice ladies. So, it's like, I mean, when it comes to, like, an old lady, I mean, like, for the most part, you're gonna probably be, having a pretty good gamble and having just someone who's really nice. Started smoking since he was 15. Oof. It was pretty wild. So my dad, like, started smoking cigs at, like, 17 or some shit. And surprised, and somehow the motherfucker still hasn't gotten, like, no cancer or anything. Well, he probably does, it just doesn't know it, but, I mean, fuck, dude. And also, at least with, like, like, me, I just stick it with weed. There ain't no way in hell, dude. I mean, I smoked tobacco before, man, have occasionally every now and then, but it's like one of those things where for me, it's more or less just like, I couldn't get hooked on it, because I actually have, like, smoked a cig once before. Honestly, it did not make me feel good. Like, having tobacco and weed mixed together, strangely, it's not the same as just smoking straight tobacco, and honestly, not a fan of it, like, this basically the only way that it could be done for me, and even then, it's like, It had its fun, but now it's just more like, Should invite me to church to meet her daughter who's my age, but I politely declined, lol. Oh, man, dude, you might have a door open, bro. Dude, she has a daughter, she's about your age, and she's asking you to be like, oh, would you like to just meet my daughter? Oh, my, dude, dude, the old lady's trying to rizz you up with her daughter, bro. That's what's going on. Oh, shit, bro. Dude, she sounds like a nice old lady, though. I mean, I could definitely be friends with her. She sounds nice enough. And also, honestly, just to meet somebody, I don't do church calls. I mean, normally I wouldn't, but hey, if you have an opportunity maybe to see if, she's not your typical church girl, then I don't know, man. I know, you know what they say about church girls, dude. There's like a kinky underbelly, and there's a strong, dark underside between most church girls. She said she won't turn down any dashes you do, as a thank you for such a good tip. Nice. Hell yeah, dude. See, that's like some pretty good, that's what I would, like, honestly call, like, pretty successful, like, little, rapport building. And getting to know at least a little somebody from the neighborhood, and, there's probably an off chance that you might actually see her daughter anyway, even if it's not at a church setting. You can pick and choose what deliveries to do. Yeah. Which, for me, it's, actually pretty cool. Because that at least kind of gives an ability to be like, to a driver to be like, oh, hey, I have to go pick up over here, and their house is over here, and I'm somehow, like, closer to their house, but farther away from their food. It's like, I mean, sometimes I might be one of those things where it's like, I'll just let, my buddy, who's, like, on shift today, too, who's actually closer to the pickup, I'll let him do it. And then, like, you find another order, or some shit. I mean, like, it seems like there's at least, like, kind of a nice little system in that way for it. But, I mean, having to do a gig economy job like that, I mean, that still sucks. And, I mean, I will, and, like, for me, I wouldn't necessarily mind it if it's, like, part-time or something. Like, maybe on, like, a day off, I do it for, like, a couple hours. Just for a little extra, a little side change or some shit. But, I mean, considering, like, the conditions of what, like, drivers have to go through and shit, fuck that. Plus, I mean, most of their wages come from those tips. First person stole it. Well, I'd make sure that, I'm sure you already did, but I'd make sure you report that. Because, I mean, that's, like, something that they could be terminated for, obviously. gave me store credit. Well, I mean, it's better than nothing, obviously. I did. Okay. I kind of figured he already did, so just another real reason to like shit about that. So yeah, I mean, if anything, like that's man, like it's kind of like seriously kind of fuck shit a little bit, just because like the DoorDashers are kind of doing that so they can make some money, so they can get some groceries, but it's like some of them are so desperate they're willing to just take other people's groceries, which is unfortunately just lame as fuck. I mean, if you're gonna go that route, just fucking go to the store yourself. And just like, I don't know, wear a hoodie. I mean, because at a certain point, it's just like, you kind of start, like hurting other people more directly if you try to take their groceries and shit, versus if you're just, like, taking it right off the shelf from, like, a fucking Albertsons or some shit. Because at that point, only the store's hurting. But if you're, like, taking somebody's groceries they paid for, like, you're just straight up stealing people's shit. So, like, at that point, that's just not cool as fuck. I got a line of sand when it comes to shit like that. I can understand the desperation aspect of things, but when it starts like hurting others in that more direct way, only live from corporate stores. Yeah, exactly. It's basically trying to have a standard of like, if you're desperate, you gotta help yourself. Just don't hurt others. Doing so. That's basically is kind of how I, root the philosophy with it. So like I said, if someone's desperate and they need some food for the grocery store and they just walk out for like a small basket of some stuff, then no harm, no foul to me. If they go to someone who bought some shit and just snag their bags out of the cart before they get home and start running, I mean, fuck that person. There's because it's, there's a distinct line with that. Like one, the first part, the store's getting hurt. The second part, somebody else is getting harmed in that situation. Maybe not physically, but at least, there's still going to be a little, distress and trauma and shit, and that's not cool, because now they just lost, however much, groceries because of that, and that, and that's something that those people also rely on. So it's just about, understanding, the whole metric of just trying to minimize, harm to other people when it comes to stuff like that. Because, like I said, taking, some bread, eggs, and maybe a few, microwavable dinners or some shit, for the week and not paying for it, that's not really a big deal. That doesn't hurt anybody. That's barely a drop in the bucket for, corporate profit, being lost. So, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, companies and stores and shit will try to make it this whole crazy, epidemic, basically. And it really isn't. It's the only reason why there are some spikes in some more organized full on groups doing shit like this and basically doing a full on raid of a store and shit is because of that desperation aspect I'm talking about. If stores actually had more price fixings, better wages and conditions for the work that people are doing, they wouldn't feel like they had to be that desperate. Instead of trying to run out of $100 worth of groceries, they might sneak a soda, on shift or something. I mean, because at that point, that's way less insignificant. It's oh, they got a free soda while they're, on break. Big whoop. I mean, that's barely a big whoop, if anything. It's what, $2? More pissed about losing the iced coffee than anything, because when I reordered food, they were out of iced coffee. Damn. Which means that you probably ordered the last of it that they had in stock, and of course, that dude that I'm talking about, that it really, kind of harmed you more so than the store. Fucking now you don't get iced coffee, which sucks. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, granted, it's not a physical harm or nothing, and frankly, isn't inherently a harm, so to speak, outside of just being financially, hit a little bit, but I mean, it's still fucked. That's still shitty. I mean, it'd be one thing if that dude, walked into the store, grabbed some shit like that, and walked out, and then, the person who's, picking up of, the picking up the food, or picking up that coffee and stuff, realizing, oh, I guess they're out. So, and then they just mark it as being out. So at least at that point, it's whatever, but, you can't really control that aspect of things, but that right there is, like I said, it's shitty. And the thing is, like I said, like, a way to alleviate a lot of these, like, crimes of poverty is basically just, like, one, increase the fuck out of wages immensely, and two, like do price fixing. Like, actually have, like, a price cap on when it comes to, especially when it comes to necessities. Like groceries, or, like, when it comes to, like, things like rent price caps and shit, like, that needs to be a fucking thing. Like, there needs to be a lot more of a, regulatory arm on, like, this whole aspect about, like, pricing and shit. Because, like, companies just, like, use this inflation excuse, or, like, a crime poverty excuse to basically just hyperinflate fucking prices is what's exacerbating these problems. Got free 3 soda because sweet old lady Dasher called me, asked what I wanted instead. Store's nice enough to throw in a few bottles. Nice. Well, it seems like at least, like, all things considered, everyone was, like, seeing the situation, try to kind of pitch in a little. Seems like at least there's a little sense of, like, help the community out, mentality at least, in that little town, which is nice. Same thing happens around here, which at least one thing I noticed, like, it seems like these more, like, smaller towns, not that, even if they're, like, outside the big city, tend to feel a little bit more, like, communal. Like, people kind of know each other a little more, or at least a lot more willing to help out. Because, like, at least, like, being, like, in Portland specifically, like, or at least in bigger cities, it's a lot more, like, hustle bustle, and people are, like, going from point A to B, so it's not really as much of that going on. But, like, small towns like where I live here, oh my god, I probably wants that. But, like, little small towns like where I live, there's a little bit more of a sense that, like, people know each other more, like, there's, like, kind of a neighborly sense of things. And people are a little bit more willing to, like, help out people. Or at least, like, help out others and stuff. Alright, hold on. There you go. Goofy little thing. Okay, there we go. Ugh. Walking by me when an order went missing because I stayed outside to help the people find me. You think he's scared a guy while walking by you? I think you might be overthinking that. I yelled fuck and he absolutely jumped out of his skin. Okay, well, if you're just doing like fuck, I mean, if anything, he was probably like, oh shit, hope you're not gonna like freak out or nothing, in the sense of just being mad. I don't think, the dude was probably like freaked out at you specifically, just like, oh shit, this guy's not having a good day. I mean, because I've done that before, and usually, like, people are like, oh shit. Or being like, you okay, bro? Like, usually it would be like something like that. Because I don't think the dude is probably thinking you're going to do something to him or some shit. Probably just realized, oh shit, this guy's mad. Which, honestly, that's how I'd feel if I was walking by you and you're just, like, looking at your phone dealing with something, and you're just like, fuck! And just yell it out. I'd be like, oh, shit. I did the same thing. I kind of jump a little bit, be like, oh, fuck, well, poor dude's really mad about something. Shit. At least that's how I'd feel. Just be like, well, he's not happy. And all things considered, I wouldn't. I mean, considering your situation. But, at least it's been, like, solved about as best it can. So, either way, it's like, at this point, it's just more of a bummer, but, like, obviously, when it hasn't been, like, solved yet, you're gonna be mad. Because I'd be pissed in that situation. I mean, because, like, because all you're doing is just trying to get some fucking groceries, you know what I mean? It's like, that's all you want. Now you have to go for a whole big, like, rigmarole just to fucking, like, just get some groceries again. It's like, bruh. They must have needed those groceries more than me. I mean, maybe, but it still doesn't justify that. Like, if that person really wanted to snag like $80 worth of groceries, that dude could have just walked into the store and did it himself, and not like have a bunch of hiccups and bullshit for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where, again, it's the line in the sand for me. I understand why, but it's like, don't fuck other people over with that. Like, I mean, just hit the corporate store instead. I mean, it's like, because at that point, it's just a likelihood that they probably have whatever's there in back stock, or it's going to be shipped in later. And considering it is a Friday, so, and I know usually when shipments come in for stores, because they all are pretty super retained. And at least for my store, it's like basically every Friday, Sunday, and Tuesdays. And then sometimes I think it's like a Wednesday every now and then. But mostly it's those 3 days. And like, it's pretty consistent, and usually like there's always like a bunch of back stock that still needs to be dealt with in the back warehouse, usually at any time. And also there's like multiple days that usually happen when it comes to that. There's usually like it's not just like one truck that shows up during those days. Sometimes it might be two or three. So, and in fact, honestly, they might be every day, just because sometimes there might be a truck that shows up in the morning when I'm not there, obviously, and I'm asleep or some shit. Because I know in the morning there's like, some extra load of stock and shit like that sometimes, and, I see some of the back stock crew, at least in the early morning / afternoon, dealing with that shit. So, I mean, I know there's at least like a certain level of, like consistency with like, shipments of stuff coming in. So if it's like that for my store, I guarantee you it's the same thing for most stores, including that one. And, the one that, you probably got groceries from. I mean, I don't know if it's like a big corporate store or not, but assuming it is, it probably has the same routines as my store does. And if that's the case, I guarantee you they're going to have whatever, might be out now today, probably there tomorrow. So when it comes to your guys' coffees, you might be able to Dollar General. Yeah, they've most likely got the same routines as us. If they're Dollar General, yeah. Chances are they got a very similar, like, shipment routine as we do. So chances are that iced coffee is probably going to be there tomorrow. I won't be surprised if it's in back stock, but they just haven't stocked it yet. So that's why it's technically out. So that could be it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually there, but it's just not, put back on stock because, they have, like, a bunch of it in the back. Because that happens a lot. Like, I mean, I'll notice, like, there'll be some stuff missing, like in, I don't know, like, maybe, like, some tea. And and because I work there, honestly, I'll just go in the back and just, like, okay, well, is there any tea around here? And I'll see it back there. I just have to look around a little bit, but, eventually I'll see, like, a few, stacked around. I'll be like, oh, well, here, I'll just grab one and pay for it. So, I mean, it's one of those, like, things where, it's whatever. Just trying to avoid Starbucks, so I was ordering Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I don't know what Dunkin' Donuts coffee tastes like. I've had the donuts, but I haven't had their coffees. I imagine they're probably okay. I know they have, like, those, like, cold coffees you can buy. But honestly, I mean, for me, I like the flavors of these, so these are the ones I always go for. And yes, I know it's a fucking chug coffee, so whatever. It's aight. Yeah. I mean, it's coffee, for fuck's sake. I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's, like, nothing to really inherently write home mama about. It's not really one of those things where I'm a diehard about. I just like it in the morning. Wish I could find the Coca-Cola coffee. I've had it before. It's okay. I mean, it's... Though, to be fair, I haven't had it in a while. That shit was the bomb diggity. Yeah, there's some at my store. And you know what? Maybe I should try it again just to, kind of confirm what I feel about it. Because, I only had it like a couple years ago, and it, when I first started seeing them, and I was like, huh. And I tried it, and I was like, I think at least initially I was just kind of like, eh. But, I don't know, maybe I'll try it again. Maybe I might have my opinion change. Because I've only tried it once, and it was like when it first, like, came out, which was like years ago, like 4 years ago or something like that. So To be honest, I don't really remember much of it, so yeah, I'll try it again, honestly. Dark roast is aight, but mocha's much better. Yeah, mocha's pretty good for certain things. Like, at least for the coffee that I drink, I prefer the espresso with cream more so than the mocha one, personally. But both of them are pretty good, though. But I like my coffee with a little cream. Is that Black Rifle coffee? Dude, I mean, I always drink these. I've been drinking these for, like, all year now. Like, I mean, what else would it be at this point? I mean, it's not my fault they taste good. It's literally the only reason why I get them. They actually taste nice. And I don't really feel crash at the end of them, so... I mean, whatever. Like, they work for me. Trying to Sasquatch coffee? Sasquatch coffee? What? Dude, yo, I need to find that. I need to try some of that shit out. That sounds like, I'm certainly interested in that. Sasquatch coffee, huh? It's a brand I keep seeing at Walmart. That probably means I'll have to go to my Walmart to go find it. Fuck. I'll go see if it's at, like, Freddy's. At, like, the Fred Meyer's or some shit. I'll see if I can find it at other stores, because I haven't seen that at my store. Though, to be fair, our store is a little smaller than others, so maybe we just don't simply carry it, but I'm going to keep a lookout for that. Sasquatch coffee, dude. Hell yeah. That sounds awesome. Might be regional. Yeah, it could be. Well, here, let me see what it looks like. Let's see what it, like, their logo or, like, their brand looks like online, so I can at least keep an eye out for it just in case. Here's Sasquatch Brewing. So, what? Hey, come on. There we go. There's a Sasquatch, yeah, Sasquatch Brewing Company. It's on Capitol Highway in Portland. Yo, there's a smoke shop and vape supply in the Dalles, Oregon called Sasquatch. Dude, fuck yeah, bro. That's awesome. Here, not brewing, coffee. Yeah, here we go. Sasquatch Coffee Company. They have locations. Oh shit, dude. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there is one location in Oregon, but it's north of Tillamook. It's like, it's just outside of Garibaldi, which is north of Tillamook on Highway 101. So there is, I guess, one up here. Oh, it's in Rockaway Beach. Yeah, and I think they actually have the, yeah, they have all the, yeah, they got the Sasquatch coffee here. But it's like grounded up. Like, so you would have to brew it yourself. Do they have, like, stuff that's already made? They got a Facebook page. I don't want the Facebook page. I just want, like, you know, do they have an official website? They have an Instagram, too. Oh, I found their website. Yeah, they got 8 flavors, it looks like. Yes, Sasquatch. Yeah, I think I found it. Cool. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Ape Canyon, medium roast, region Brazil, Central America, Pacific Islands. Flavor, almond aroma, light body chocolate finish. Ooh. Okay, this is, okay, the website, like, this is actually kind of hard now. Okay, there we go. Oh, shit, it's $10? It's normally $18.95, but I think it's on sale for $10. There must be a new thing, because there's not a lot of reviews or anything. Here, do they have, yeah, category. Clothings, books, posters, and more. Outdoor gear, research, food and drink. Okay, so dude, I think this is like a company that makes all sorts of shit. Got like chips, candy, and stuff. Oh shit, I think they do actually have some like pre-made coffee, but it's sold out. Yeah, it looks like this brand, yeah, it looks like they're from, like, the Pacific Northwest, so they should be regional up here. I should actually be able to find them. But yeah, it looks like they do sell some, like, chocolate that's already made, but it's sold out. Oh, they got little coffee pods, too? That's cool. And they got a, like, oh, yeah, they got some cool shit, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna check the store out more. Tacky-Quatch from Black Rifle. I keep seeing Tactiquatch. I like how my mistaken identification has led to ignore down a rabbit hole. Well, it's a real company that you were mentioning, but wait, so it's Tactiquatch? Okay, here, let me look that up. Tactiquatch, okay. See, that sounds like it'd probably be regional for you. But here, let's look it out. Tactiquatch. Oh, well, it came up pretty quick. Tactiquatch Coffee. Oh, dude! Oh, it's also by Black Rifle. Yeah, so it's by the same company that I'm drinking from. So it's just like, so what's this? What do we got here? It's still trying to load the site. Oh my god, I don't want to join your subscription. I could get the whole beans or the ground. I'm not even gonna lie, I love the fucking picture. I love how they have it displayed, it's kind of cool. Yeah, okay. I don't really see any of that, though, at my store or anything. It's literally just, like, these with the espresso cream or the mocha, or it's, like, the triple shot ones where it's, like, vanilla caramel, there's, like, one other one. So there's basically there's like 2 triple shot flavors, and then there's these. And those are the only, like, Black Rifle that I see at my store, at least. So I haven't seen that. When you come down eventually. That's up to you. If you want to, fuck it. I don't care. I mean, you know, because I don't know, like, I mean, I'm sure, like, down to the brass tacks, I mean, they're probably just like any other coffee company when it comes to, like, how ethically sourced it is, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't think it really matters too much. I mean, they just, I don't know, like, how they make it, it's actually alright. Like I said, it's just coffee. It's not, like, the biggest thing to write home mom about. Gets you through the day. That's all that matters. I'm sure they have slaves picking the coca beans. Well, I mean, possibly. I mean, honestly, I guarantee you they probably buy it from, like, third party. Like, it gets imported from other places that, like, dude, hey, shush. They probably get, like, imported from, like, some distributor that, you know, are in the countries that, you know, these the coffee beans are harvested from. Because I'm pretty sure, you know, that's pretty much like how all these other coffee companies, like, you know, Starbucks and shit, or like Folgers, etc. Like, that's how they, you know, to some extent probably do it. They have, like, you know, a third-party distributor, so it kind of has, like, like a middleman effect. So if they get caught doing something, so to speak, then they can just, like, pawn it off to the other companies. Like, no, it was them. We were involved in that. So it's a way to kind of, like, you know, like, try to, you know, be less accountable. But, I mean, you know, like, all in all, pretty much, like, all these companies do this shit. I mean, granted, it shouldn't be a thing, by the way. Like, if anything, they all need to be held to, like, insane mass account when it comes to that shit. Where'd that bug go? I saw it fall down here. Where'd you go? Damn it, where did you go? I see you. I see you. Come here. Sukoff, hey. God damn it. I give you a fucking bath. Got you all nice and clean and shit. And you're still doing this? Little goof? Yeah. We'll probably see the end of cheap, affordable chocolate. By the time where old man chocolate will have regressed into rich person luxury. I wouldn't 100% be too sure about that, but yeah. I mean, most chocolate, unless it's artificial, is definitely going to be like that. At least for, like, genuine, like, like, actual chocolate. And the thing is, it's already like that, though. Like, if you want to get, like, some good chocolate and stuff, like, like chocolate, like, that's going to be more expensive than, like, Hershey's. Because Hershey's isn't, like, full-on real chocolate. It's milk chocolate. So, like, shit's been, like, essentially heavily watered down. So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's just, like, I mean, we're already kind of there. Hershey is fine. But when it comes to, like, what is real chocolate versus, like, milk chocolate, like, milk chocolate isn't, like full, true chocolate. I like milk chocolate. Well, I mean, I do too. I'm not dogging on it inherently. I'm just saying. Just stating the facts on that one. Even milk chocolate will be rare. Well, I wouldn't be too surprised because you still need chocolate to make it. You just don't need as much. But, as you're saying, as it becomes harder to harvest, cocoa beans and shit like that, it's going to become immensely more difficult, to, have it be long term. And the thing is, it's already, bad enough when it just comes to the production aspect of things. I mean, we saw John Oliver's thing about chocolate the other day. Or, the other day. Pretty much because on Sunday. Because, it was, his fun little, hey, you're going to hand out chocolate to kids on Halloween. Here, have this to be in the back of your mind. Talking about, how, with the immense, slave trade that goes into cocoa production. And the fact that, those same farmers don't even know what actual chocolate tastes like. I mean, they probably have, had a few of the cocos, before it's actually, processed into chocolate, but that's a whole different thing. The flavor of that stuff is not the same as just actual, chocolate once it's refined and stuff. And from what I heard, the actual, cocoa beans themselves and stuff, when harvested, especially when it's all, fresh and kind of that white goopy stuff, that is really, really good. But, they barely, get to enjoy those basic, simple little luxuries. It's just fucked. We do, but they don't. Sad isn't. Well, that's kind of the, whole, because it exacerbates and enables and continues to, push this whole fucking, exacerbation of climate change, because in that John Oliver video, not only was there a lot of, slave trade going on with that shit, but also, a lot of those farms and a lot of these places that were doing harvesting were in, naturally protected areas. Places that are supposed to, be protected, because of, there needs to be an ecosystem still, at least somewhere. And they're just nah, we're gonna, cut down a couple patches here and there and make, a little few cocoa farms. So, I mean, and obviously, as you can imagine, that shit straight up exacerbates, that shit immensely. Kitty won't stop making biscuits on chest while I'm typing. Oh shit, Rose. Everyone shut the fuck up. Rose spoke. He has a link. What's going on here? Here, actually, let me get my split screen going so we can kind of see this. There we go. Boom. What do we got? What's going on here? Here's what DiGiorno's limited edition Thanksgiving pizza. What? Fuck your app, bitch. Fuck your Embassy New York app, motherfucker. Wait, what? Believe it or not, on a 2019 Instacart survey shows that 42% of men would rather give up watching football for a month than be in charge of cooking for Thanksgiving dinner. Oh my god, that is whack, dude. It's like, hey, it's like, you can watch football still for this month in November, but you have to make Thanksgiving dinner. Fuck that. Like 4 out of 10 men are like, nope, I'd rather not watch football then. I'll watch other shit. I'll watch like some movies. Damn, bro. Damn. They would even give up their phone for a month to avoid the responsibilities of putting together the feast. Pussies. Bitch-made pussies, dude. Really? Damn. Or serve the Thanksgiving pizza. I want to see what it looks like. So here we are. Oh my fucking god. This either is going to be the most awesomest thing ever or the most disgusting thing ever. And I swear to God, if it's disgusting, I am like, I'm done. I'm done with Earth. Like, we could just glass Earth and just say fuck it. Because honestly, I don't want to live in a world where this is somehow gross. Because I'm looking at that, and that better be the most fire fucking thing I've ever eaten that I've ever put in my mouth. Because god damn, it actually does look kind of good. Oh, do you think instead of like that tomato sauce, it's actually gravy? Oh my god, see, dude, this better be fire as fuck, dude. Like, what's all in it? Wait, so you have to literally go online to buy it? Boo! I want to get it in the store, you bitches. Fuck. Alright, I might honestly buy one just to try it, dude. Those guys are pussies, and I don't even watch football. Not only not watch football, but I'd help cook. Yeah, dude, I've helped cook before. Honestly, it's kind of fun. I mean, like, help, you know, like, I mean, it sucks if you're the only one doing it, but the thing is, you shouldn't be the only one doing it. Like, for a Thanksgiving feast, like, that's kind of a multi-person, you know, task there. So it kind of takes, you know, some people, you know, to kind of, like, you know, take over certain things a little bit. And a lot of that, I would argue, just kind of goes into what's people's expertise. Like, for me, I like, you know, doing a lot of, you know, some of the stuff like, you know, the corn or, like, the stuff and all that shit. Like, I like to handle that type of stuff, you know, while, like, you know, somebody else deals with turkey and some other shit, and mashed potatoes, etc. You know, so I'll handle, like, you know, certain aspects of it, you know, getting the rolls good, you know, stuff like that as well. Like, I mean, it's a multiple, you know, like, person task. So, I mean, if you're doing it by yourself, that shit sucks, you know, but if it's at least, like, 2 or 3 people, like, I mean, you can make, like, an all-day cooking, you know, for a feast into, like, more like a 6-hour, you know, event. And, like, and once it all just, like, you know, combines together when everything, you know, is all done around the same time and everything's all hot and fresh and shit. So, I mean, I'd say that, like, you know, I mean, I'm willing to, you know, like, I would do it, but I also don't watch football, so I don't give a fuck. I would literally not watch football for a month or, well, all year, you know, and also do the Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, hell, I'd even, you know, say fuck it. I'd give up my phone for a month and still cook the fucking feast. Fucking going Sigma mode over here. And you got like 29% of bitches who are just like, nah, I ain't giving up my phone. And 42% of cucked mega bitches just be like, nah, I still rather watch some Fuba. Or I'd rather give up watching Fuba than make that feast. It's like... I mean, at least it's still a majority. I will grant that, like, on both percentiles, like, it's still a majority of, like, people that would give it up. Yeah, or not give it up, and, you know, like, and, like, cook, you know, the dinner, or at least help out with it. So, at least, you know, despite the percentiles, like, there's more men that would just give it up and cook than not. So... like, at least there's some solace in that. Because I think a lot of them probably have a similar idea as we do. It's like, oh, wow, we have to help cook a little bit? Oh, no, whatever shall I do? That 42% are just either dudes who can't cook to save their life. No offense, Venom. Or are boomers and conservative idiots who are like, nah, the wife cooks. The men don't handle that shit. the men bring home the food, the wife cooks it. It's like you got those fucks. And honestly, I'd argue most of them are probably that. Like, I'd argue at least like a good 25 to 30% of that, like 42 percentile, is probably just a bunch of chud fucks like, nah, trad wife does it. Man don't handle no of those cooking utensils, shingamabob, jigamadob bullshit. Saw a video of a cop watching Vosh. Dude, that video's kind of old. I've seen it. I'm pretty sure Vosh reacted to that like a year ago or something. Like, he, you know, because I think one of his chatters, you know, shared it because they happened to be driving around with one of their friends and saw, like, the cop, and they happened to see Vosh literally on there. Xander reviewed it. It's a new one. Is it a new video? Because I know distinctively there is, like, a video from, like, a year or so ago of a cop watching Vosh. And I guarantee you this is probably that video. Yeah, I'm just going to skip to it. Where is it? It's watching Vosh's Friday Night at Freddy's video. Well, hold on. Is it, like, the tier thing? Or, oh, hold on. I want to find it. I want a specific... At the end? Okay. Alright, hold on.
Clearly a computer must...
Yeah, this video's old. Yeah, I've seen this video before.
There's literally no way this is fake. I thought, like...
Yeah, dude, this is back when Vosh had his long hair, dude. Dude, this is like a year ago.
There's a chance an image could have been faked. This couldn't have been faked.
No way, dog. No way.
He's watching Vosh.
No.
Dude, that's not fake.
It isn't. And, like, I kind of wish it would, like, play more of that clip, because Vosh literally finds the video, and it's, like, when he's talking about his Five Nights at Freddy's, like, tier list, or some shit. I forgot exactly what it was, but it was basically that. Like, yeah, that was, like, at least, like, a year or so ago. Probably older, actually. I mean, yeah, like, I've seen that before. Yeah, that's the video I was talking about. Yeah, that's been around for a while. It's, I guess the meme has resurfaced, but I thought it was his review of the movie. No. I mean, I can understand why you thought that just because the movie did recently come out and shit, but it was before the movie was out. I think the movie was in production or it was announced or something, and that's probably why it ended up being like some tier list, because, you know, I think some of his chat was like, hey, do a tier list or something. So, you know, at least that's my guess. I don't fucking know. I don't really care for Five Nights at Freddy's, so honestly, like, I mean, any content related to that, I just kind of tune out and be like, okay, whatever. Whoa, fuck, Jesus Christ! Goddamn dog! Fuck! Holy shit, that just like... on. Yeah, dude! Whoa, shut up, damn! What the fuck? Jeez, dog. Yeah, there ain't nothing going on. What's the deal? Go back inside. You freak. Jesus. Man. Sukov jump scare. I was not ready for that. Mom wants me to watch a house video and call her after. No worries. Yeah, obviously you got some important shizzle. Man, I'm also a little butthurt because Voosh was supposed to be on DFF tonight. That was postponed because TJ fucked up. Like, TJ's like, alright, we're gonna schedule you for Friday the 2nd. And Vosh was like, alright, my dude, I shall see you there, my guy. And then TJ was like, wait a minute, hold on. Like, after, like, leading up to it, it was like, wait, the 2nd's a Thursday, And then Vosh was like, yeah, my dude, my guy, you fucked up, my dude. Now we shall postpone this because you are an idiot, my dude. It's like, oh my lord. It's like fucking TJ, of course. It had to be TJ. You know, it's like just being the dupe. Just to, like, think that instead of the 3rd, you know, Friday the 3rd, he's like, oh yeah, Friday the 2nd, you know. I like how you did that right after you say you don't like Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, that's what I was mentioning from earlier. Honestly, I totally forgot because he reset the brain there. And honestly, like, I mean, yeah, I kind of don't really. I still want to watch the movie because I feel like the whole premise probably fits better in movie form, I think. And I've heard some different opinions about that. I've heard it's like mid and okay. I've heard it sucks, and I've also heard it's actually kind of good. So, you know, honestly, I'm just going to have myself with no expectations and at some point, you know, watch the movie and just try to take away my own idea about it. Because, I mean, I've heard way too many different opinions about it where I'm just like, okay, I can't really just rely on, you know, what other people say about this. I just need to see it for myself. Because I've said before, like, I feel like that whole, like, you know, FNAF, like, I feel like, you know, the whole idea of the, you know, franchise and the game, like, it worked really good for, like, the first game, and maybe the second one, but after that, it should have just stopped right there, at least for the games. Or at least just kind of branch off and do something a little different with it. And, you know, and, like, and I also think, you know, around this time was probably a good time for, you know, a movie to kind of, you know, pop out for it, especially, you know, considering the popularity of it. And I just think, you know, honestly, it probably, like, especially with how many, like, Five Nights at Freddy's games there are, I just think it works way better, you know. I think it would, at least, and, you know, work better as a movie, or like a, you know, or like a series or something. You know, so, at least that's just my opinion about it, but I'll see if, you know, this movie confirms that a little bit or not. And if not, then it's not really a franchise worth saving. it's at that point, I'm just like, nah. It has a chance to redeem itself in my mind, where it's like, okay, I might be interested in this, but, you know, but I'm only going to really be interested for, like, the movie / like, show aspect of things, you know, like, I still ain't going to give a fuck about the games. Vosh is still alive right now? What's he doing? What's he doing? Oh my god, kitty! I'm just in time for a kitty. Oh my god, yes. Look at this schlinky little bastard. Oh my goodness. I was like, what is he doing? And then he just reaches over and it's like, kitty, I present to you the king, our true lord, the one who controls Vosh. Or is it Artemy that controls Vosh? It would be Artemy that actually controls Vosh, but this is one of the minions. Look at that ugly but adorable ass little fucking face, dude. That's the most ugliest but cutest little fucking face I've ever seen. Oh my god, what a fucking chungus, dude. Oh, what a cute fucking cat. That is adorable. Oh, that cat don't want nothing to do with that toy. It's like, get that shit out of here. Fuck your ass. I just want to lay here, dude. That oh, that was so cute. Baby.
Joe Clem 15, thank you for the $5.
Guess he's reading chats and stuff and brought the kitty in. This thing is just pretty you debunk. I'm assuming he was just like going over that earlier. Now we can skip back a little bit. Fuck it. Oh my god! Quit clicking the fucking like that. Click this. Here we go. Oh, I recognize that. Oh shit. Dude, he's looking at the trans documentary. Or at least the trailer for it. Dude, I can immediately recognize this. Because I think TJ for An Abandoned Hope looked at this. Case like if a mean old woman became a cat. Yeah, well, like, it looks like, you know, she... Oh no, I know, oh no. But the cat kind of looks like it would be like a mean old woman. But she's actually, like, kind of a sweet old woman that, you know, will bake you, like, the most banging fucking pies and cake and cookies, like, in the fucking world, dude. Like, she kind of keeps to herself. She's kind of a little curmudgeon sometimes, but, you know, if you break through that, she's actually probably, like, the most sweetest fucking bastard you'll ever meet. I mean, and honestly, I feel like that's kind of reigning true for that kitty. Either a mean old woman or a mean old guy.
I think they meant the most extreme way of stopping the pain other than suicide. Yeah, but that's medicine. Like, I feel enormous suffering and I have two paths before me: kill myself or get better. And they're fear-mongering about the get better part. Like the get better path is the one that is currently being lambasted.
I mean, that pretty much is the premise of this whole thing. I can already tell what this is. I mean, I've seen it before. I mean, eventually maybe we could check out maybe like the clip version of this one of Bob's. But, yeah, I mean, essentially this whole idea of this documentary is basically that. I mean, because it's basically, you know, people who supposedly have detransitioned, you know, and they probably have. Honestly, I'm not going to, like, you know, inherently invalidate, you know, their experiences. But, you know, just because they're being used for PragerU propaganda or purposely being complicit in it or whatever the fuck. But, like, I mean, the whole point of, like, you know, cherry picking a few of these people and being like, oh, yeah, well, see, if they did, then meh. It's like, see how big it actually is of a problem? It's like, no. Like, you found, like, half a dozen, you know, people that regretted it or some shit, and thus it means that, like, you know, that's actually the reality. It's like, yeah, maybe to an extent, but that's for some people. It's not like some, like, end-all be-all, you know, when it comes to just, like, you know, all that type of shit. Mama ain't answering. She's probably, you know, just still talking with, you know, the real estate people or something.
These people really just, like, go from female to male.
Being happy. What you're seeing here is trans people being happy, which is something that conservative...
But that they think all trans people are that way. Well, yeah, that's the point. Like, I don't really have an issue with, like, someone who goes through a detransition. That's their choice. Like, if anything, having gender-affirming care and normalizing shit like that grants more of an opportunity for somebody to be like, hey, I realize that, you know, like, you know, I'm not, like, completely, like, trans like I thought, you know, maybe I kind of want to, like, you know, take a step back, you know, and kind of find out where that balance is for me, you know, to where I feel, you know, the most best for myself. Like, I mean, you know, that's totally fine. It's okay for someone to feel that way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, the problem isn't with the concept of detransitioning. It's the idea that, like, that's, like, the only way for someone who's basically just conversion therapy, but instead of gays, it's trans people. Like, they're just trying to do conversion therapy bullshit. I mean, that's just was literally what's going on here. It's like basically it's like a form of conversion therapy, and, you know, but instead of gay people, it's just trans people. That's essentially what they're trying to push. I mean, like, it's the idea basically of just like, you know, oh, if you're trans, then, like, if you continue on with the path of gender-affirming care, you're more likely to, you know, have suicide. So to actually get better, you need to detransition. Like, that's essentially what they're trying to push with the fucking narrative, which is beyond fucking retarded, obviously. It's actually the other way around. The more gender-affirming care a trans person has, the more likely they are going to feel better about themselves, and far less likely for them to commit suicide. It's like, wow, who would have fucking thought that?
Hate groups don't typically want you to see. There are lots of happy trans people. There are lots of whiny, mopey, depressed trans people, but, you know, I've met lots of happy, whiny, depressed, not trans people. I think that's just a universal component of the human experience. Also, trans people have more reasons than most to be depressive, considering the whole hate movement thing going against them. Not really an anti-cis hate movement, and cis people still somehow find ways to be depressive sometimes. You know, going online, conservatives, when they argue that happy trans people posting their stuff online is grooming, what they're arguing against is social degeneracy. The argument, which is made by a lot of conservative demagogues, is that even the mere social presence of trans people is a pollutant that infects the minds of young, vulnerable people. This rhetoric is ideologically indistinguishable from what the Nazis believed about basically every reactionary tendency they had. It's not even a comparison, it's just the same thing. Conservatives believe that trans people is a social contagion, that trans joy is a social contagion.
You know you want to got the girl for biggest dickus. Well, yeah. Is there a problem with that?
believed identically, like the exact same thing with no differences whatsoever. So it's good to keep that in mind.
Visually. Like, they looked like men, and I was like, whoa, I didn't even know that it was possible for a woman to pass as a man that well. It's really dark.
Yeah, because it's called being a trans man there, buddy. Or just being a hardcore butch-ass lesbian. I mean, you know, like, I don't know, like, there's, yeah, like, sometimes there are women who can be fairly masculine, and even cis women. Like, there can be cis women who are pretty masculine as fuck. I mean, there's, it's as if there's women who comes in all sorts of different shapes, sizes, and personalities, and, you know, looks and shit. Like, wow. Oh, wow. I never knew that. Oh my goodness, I just thought they were all monolith.
Think about it, because the people who are consuming this are children, like 13, 14, 15.
I don't think that's dark. I don't think it's dark for 13, 14-year-olds to go online and see people being happy in their skin. I think that's fine, actually.
Yeah, there's nothing bad about that.
It's so easy for them to literally be groomed. I just started looking into all of it. I was like, oh.
Again, remember, this individual we're listening to right now is literally the victim of Christian conservative grooming to suppress their trans identity. They're literally Twitter posting about how they still hate themselves and they dream of being a man. Like, they're, as is so often the case, every accusation is a confession. Conversion therapy is...
And also the fact that they are saying this is literally grooming by just looking up, like, different terms. Like, oh, pangender, or like fucking, you know, like, you know, transgender, blah, blah, blah. Like, to them, that's grooming somehow. Looking shit up. Like, and just merely seeing something and looking into shit. Like, apparently, like, this right here, if I, you know, clicking on this and finding out what pangender is or whatever the fuck, or, you know, and all this other shit, apparently that's literally fucking grooming. Which, wow, I never realized that doing your own research is also grooming. Ignore roast me for being weak. I paid Blizzard to play World of Warcraft. Venom, I sentence you to eat a seasoned cheeseburger with lettuce and tomato. And also make sure that there's some mustard, ketchup, and some garlic aioli sauce on there. And just for good measure, add some onions and pickles too. I mean, you have to go all the way with it.
Literally grooming on an institutional level. Hey,
and also, I'm gonna make him eat some onion rings that have like a jalapeno like breading on it. So, one, he gets a little spice and some flavor, and he has to eat onions.
Independently.
I mean, to me, that sounds fire as fuck, but to him, it's probably disgusting, so.
Identity, this feeling about themselves. I will now, like, engage, I will now literally, like, pay a counselor to groom them into a different one, you know? Every act...
It's as if, like, you know, like, there is, you know, a grooming / conversion therapy that's being done.
Is a confession.
Oh, so there's genderqueer, gender fluid, there's agender, there's like, you can be a demi-girl, which is when you're like 90% girl, 10% not girl.
None of these terms really mean anything, to be honest.
Yeah, like, and also, like, I mean, they're trying to say this like it's like, oh my god. It's like, yeah, maybe some people, you know, just, like, want to try to, like, understand, you know, their little, in their alternative, you know, like, expression of their gender or sexuality. Because sometimes people might be, like, you know, more predominantly cis-leaning or some shit, not, like, full-on trans or whatever, but might, you know, have, like, an alternative, you know, expression about that, you know, gender or sex. And there's also nothing wrong with that. Like, there's plenty of people that have, like, you know, an alternative, like, you know, expression to what is considered normative for, like, you know, the, you know, male or female for those genders or for the biological sexes. And, you know, and that's just because, again, a lot of it's just, like, hormonal bullshit. Like, you know, a lot of it's just, like, you know, your hormones and the chemicals in your body. And sometimes, you know, how that's, you know, like, developed in people is different. It's always going to be different for people. And because of that, there's going to be sometimes men who are probably more, like, masculine, and some men are probably more feminine-like, and vice versa, when it comes to, like, women being more masculine or more feminine, like I was saying earlier. Like, people come in all sorts of shapes, sizes, and personalities, and backgrounds and expressions. That's just, like, a part of the human condition. I wonder why conservatives not wanting young people to learn more about sex. I wonder. Yeah. Curious.
Nasty.
It's as if they, don't know anything about that they won't realize, if they're actually being groomed or sexually exploited. Curious.
When they mean different things. It's kind of like asking people about like horoscope shit,
Like, there's just an infinite amount of ways that you can interpret and express your own gender identity, and your gender identity is
cool. Sounds like freedom.
Yeah, it sounds like personal liberty to me. Who gives a fuck?
who you are, and nobody gets to take that away from you.
Yeah,
they're trying to paint that as a bad thing. I mean, dude, like, yeah, that's cool, that's awesome, that's good, that's called personal liberty, bitch. It's like, go fuck yourself. Like, oh my god. Jesus Christ, dude.
I like how this is being framed as a scary thing when they're literally saying, like, yeah, there's so many ways you can express yourself and no one can take that from you. Which is like something you would hear in a fucking Disney film, but it's got like spooky music. It's like, the trans community wants you to believe that you should be yourself and be happy,
Oh my god, the evil horror. This evil, gay, communistic, trans grooming propaganda.
So hearing that, I just became very, very interested in having a male persona.
Conservatives are terrified of free expression. Yes, they are. Absolutely petrified. That's why conservatives are always telling you what men should be and what men should do. Why, like, civilization.
And conservatives basically want men to literally just look like this dork. Which who knows or cares like who that guy is, but they basically want to look like a bunch of weird posh like Renaissance era looking fucks from 1700s or some shit.
You don't pass down the art of manliness.
I guess that'd be Victorian era, but whatever, you get the fucking point.
And now are nothing like they were 100 years ago, who are nothing like they were 1,000 years ago, who are nothing like they were 1,000 years before that. Same with women. Everything changes, nothing stays the same. It's all culture, it's all free-flowing. Be the best person you can. If you want to be a dude, a woman, whatever else, go for it. As long as you're not hurting other people, go for it. Maybe you'll make some mistakes along the way. That's part of life. That's going to happen to anyone and everyone. I've made mistakes in like my expression of identity. I used to wear exclusively like anime graphic design t-shirts. Now I don't. I made a mistake. It took me till I was 29 to correct it.
There's nothing wrong with like anime shirts, you dork. I made it right towards that point. I remember when I was little, I saw Superman flying, so I jumped off a skyscraper to do the same thing. Oh wait, no I didn't, because I'm a moron. No shit, dude.
The more time I spent online, the more it felt like real life.
I had a man bun.
The more real it felt, which...
Hey, there's nothing wrong with man buns. I don't really do a man bun, but I got this. I mean, fuck you, Vosh. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Eventually led to me just fully transitioning.
Cool.
Nice.
So...
And they still dream of being a man.
I came out to my parents as Ollie, and, I went to this, I guess, behavioral mental health clinic for like...
So I'm guessing he's actually watching the full documentary.
6 days. They had a meeting with my parents, and they basically told my parents that if you don't validate Oliver, if you don't validate him, then this is just going to get worse.
So,
I mean, yeah, like, of course. I mean, that's kind of the whole point. Like, the counselor's saying to the parents, like, hey, you need to validate, your son's, gender identity, because it'll help them feel comfortable with who they are and feel more, happy in their life, because it'll only get worse if you try to suppress that, and try to change that. Like, this isn't something you could change. So it's like, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It's like, yeah, just let him, express himself, how they want to and shit. Like, duh. Wow, Vosh hating on Japanese culture. I know, he presumably says he loves Japan and his culture, but yeah, over here, hating on anime shirts. Fucking racist.
First of all, you really shouldn't take anything that they have to say on the clinical medical process at face value, because they have every reason to lie. However, in this specific case, that's actually good medical practice. The reason for that is because if your psychological assessment of a trans person begins with denying their identity, it's actually really unproductive. Genuinely, it doesn't lead to good outcomes. The best outcome that you could get, from what I understand from the medical literature, and this is verified like in all over the world, not just the United States. This is like there are plenty of medical associations that agree on this. This affirmation approach towards people, trans people in clinics is accept the identity they say they are, and then try to get to the heart of it. So maybe they also have depression or anxiety, or maybe they're also autistic. You can talk about that, but don't argue with them. Like, imagine if a person realized they were gay and they wanted resources and help with that. Like, and the first thing you would do is try to like debate them on whether they're actually gay. What are they even supposed to say? Like, what do they do? Suck a cock in front of you? Like, what? How is a person supposed
what, just like jerk off the gay porn right in front of them or something? I mean, seriously.
Prove their gender identity to you if you're going to question it. Like, you're like, no, you're actually a woman. You have a womb and a pussy. And they're like, I know that, but I feel like I'm a guy. And then they're like, yeah, but you're not. And they're like, okay, what are we achieving here? What are we accomplishing? Conservatives are mad that gender clinics aren't just like
conversion therapy camps.
Telling trans kids that they're not trans. They want gender clinics to just be conversion therapy.
Yeah, basically. I'm kind of curious to see a little bit more of this. So I hope this ends up being like one of his like main videos, because we'll probably like at least skip over some of the parts we checked out. But I definitely am curious to check out some more of that. I want to check out more, but unfortunately, I do have to go to work and all that fun shit. Oh boy. Oh, boy. So yeah, I'll get one more bowl load up at least, and hang out here for at least an hour, man, or two. But like all in all, I mean, it really just comes down to the root that like conservatives just are scared of like any form of like social change, and they want to try to go back to the good old days of how they remember it when it wasn't really like as prevalent of a thing, even though it also was a thing back then, in their days or whatever the fuck. And they just are just blithely and just like ignorantly just like going along this whole stupid idea of just like, oh well, it's just how I was raised of how it was, and and I don't understand it now, then fuck it, I'm not even gonna bother trying to figure it out because it goes against what I grew up and was raised with. It's like how you think you're gonna be able to like keep up with society at that point, you fucking chocolate dick son of a bitch. It's like, good lord. Oof. Oof, I say. But, anywho, I think I can get myself off to work and all that fun shit. There should be 4 of us tonight, so should be actually a pretty easy day. Pretty chill day. Chillin', easy as fuck, yeah. So, anyway, I think I'll do a karaoke stream tonight at the bar. I think that's going to be my gumption. So, anyway, at least for now, peace out, and of course, I'll see y'all and have a little fun time. Of course, at the bar. So, anyway, toodaloo, y'all buckaroos.